set after Christianer took down SOS, and SOS needs to play in the lower bracket. But let's go with the next one, and this should be what we sometimes say a banger, but the Polish one between two of the best Polish players currently, because these guys just met 2 weeks ago in Cracov Polish Championship. So I would like to ask them about this slightly. And first up, Elazer. Yeah, you just played against MaNa 2 weeks ago, and it was a rough one for you. Usually, you know how to beat Protoss, Polish Protoss most of the time. You are super aggressive, but MaNa could hold on. And I was wondering whether you prepared something different, or do you feel confident this time?
Yeah, I think last time, to be honest, I played kind of bad. You know, I mean, respect to MaNa, I actually thought he played the best StarCraft I've seen from him in a very long time. But I also watched the replays a couple days ago because I hate watching replays versus Protoss, because every time I watch replays versus Protoss, I get angry because I see how many mistakes they do. But this time I was watching, I was like, I kind of played bad, and I think I didn't execute my plans correctly. So I kind of improved the plans I've had, and I think I will execute them this time properly.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I like the preparation, and well, obviously you won. You are the top one of Poland currently, and I wanted to ask you, because I know you for such a long time. I can recall like an interview with you on some website, like 20 years ago, like you were 14 or something, and you've been playing StarCraft 2 for so many years. And I wanted to ask you, what keeps you motivated to play this long, this many times? There are ups and downs, but you are still, after all these years, still here. And I was wondering, what inspires you to do so?
I just like the competitive itch that it scratches, you know? Like, it's the 1v1 game. I never played the perfect StarCraft. I can always improve. Even after all these years, there's so many things that you can learn about StarCraft. And I don't know, I just like constant of the StarCraft game. And it just brings a lot of joy to me to improve day by day and just get better.
Nice. So yeah, we are all a little bit adrenaline attached, I would say. And well, Team Liquid takes over. So if you want, shake your hands, guys, and let's go. Let's start next match.
And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the FEL, the Fusion Esports League 2025 Krakow. We have returned. We just wrapped up with our first 2 matches of the broadcast with our PvPs, but now we have the best in Poland facing off against each other. Number 1 and number 2, we have MaNa and Elazer. As they just mentioned during the on-stage interview, MaNa, he just won the Polish Championship. MaNa has been crowned the best player in Poland, better than Elazer, Geralt, Christianer, Spirit, and any other player in Poland. He is now holding that crown. Elazer holds the number 2 spot. He holds the number 2 spot. They face off in a best of 9, and MaNa was looking dominant in that best of 9. But now they're here in a best of 3, shorter series. I would say that if we end up in a best of 5, best of 7, best of 9, I favor MaNa, 100%. I favor MaNa against Elazer. But in a shorter series, like a best of 3, this could go either way. We could see Elazer cheesing the hell out of MaNa and knocking him out and getting a quick and fast cheeky win. We could see MaNa weathering the storm. I still lean in favor towards MaNa, but I would say that in a shorter series like this, in a best of 3, I would say that things are looking a lot closer here this time. They're looking a lot closer this time. So it's going to be a lot more intense, I'm sure. It's going to be a lot more intense. So here we go. Here we go. We're now getting into our next game. We're getting into our next series. We're going to be getting into MaNa versus Elazer. Best of 3. VJ's done. Game 1 is going to be in Persephone. Game 2 Incorporeal. Game 3 Ultra Love. Let's go. Let's go. As we are jumping in. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the blue Polish player, the blue Polish player, the Protoss player, the blue Protoss. Representing Team Liquid, it is MaNa. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player, the Polish Zerg. Representing Team Liquid, it is Elazer. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we are jumping into our next matchup. Here we go. Whew. As yes, also I mentioned something in the chats, but if you maybe aren't seeing the Twitch chat or the YouTube chat, fun fact: Lambo, Rainer, and Clem, they just landed. They landed 15 minutes ago in Krakow, in Poland. They're just now being picked up as we speak, which means jet lag is gonna be a thing here, or at least exhaustion is gonna be a thing. Fun fact: originally they were planned to arrive much earlier, but there were some delays. When it came to the schedule, when it comes to the plane schedule, I should mention, travel schedule, the itinerary, if you will, and because of that, they had to take a later flight, and because of that, they're coming in as the event has already begun. Of course, their matches are still a ways away, so they have some time to get ready to get to the venue, but it means, bam, they go straight from their plane ride from the airport straight into game, straight into this tournament. So that might also be a factor. That might also help some of these other players like Thermal, like SOS, some of these other players that traveled, or some of the home players, the Polish players. It will give them that home field advantage for being a little bit better, well rested and ready for the event itself. Oh boy. So that may be a bit of an X factor. For now, though, we're settling in. We do have a standard opener. Laser going hatch gas pool, Forsake the unnatural, expanding towards his opponent. Now, because of this expansion, because of the setup here, and because of how Laser typically does approach PvZ, there is a high chance that with this base, we're going to be spreading creep that much faster across the map, and we might indulge into an all-in. Laser is very fond and has been very fond of all-ins in this matchup. He is not really known to go for a longer and later game. In the past, he was. But if you've been following Elazer recently, you would know something. If you've been following Elazer, you would know that he's been playing a lot of AoE, a lot of Age of Empires 4. So Elazer, he's been streaming and playing and competing in a different esports, in different RTS. He's been devoting less time to StarCraft, and as a result, I do feel like that is one of the reasons why we've been seeing a very cheesy Elazer in recent weeks and in recent months. It's been much more cheesy than normal. So that's what I'm leaning towards here. But maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. For now, it's going to be the Stargate opener out of MaNa, standard opener out of our Protoss player. MaNa, he himself isn't really too cheesy. We expect standard play. We expect Stargate into a third base, potentially into earlier Storm, earlier Archon production. MaNa, he does deviate a little bit. He has some variance when it comes to his builds, but for the most part, we expect him to be the defender, and we expect Elazer to be the aggressor instead. Here we go. In the train now, on my way to the tournament. Didn't know they had one in Krakow. Yeah, let's go. I mean, Krakow is meant to be like a really big touristic city. Fun fact, for those that maybe don't watch the CranKy Ducklings, for those that maybe don't watch our weekly talk show, it was announced a couple of months ago at this point that there is no more IM Katowice. It is now going to be IM Krakow. The big annual IM event is going to be switching and turning over to Krakow instead, which again is meant to be like a bigger city, is meant to be more of a touristic city, is meant to have access to more people and all that good stuff. So yeah, it feels like a lot is kind of moving in that direction. I think we announced that like at the beginning of the year, I want to say. I say we like, you know, spoke about it since it was already reported on beforehand. Meanwhile, we do have our follow-up here. This is before the third, by the way. Before the third base, we have a much faster Forge, much faster Twilight Council. Now, because it's taken so fast, because it's so quick, there's a higher chance that this is going to be charged, not Blink and not Glaives. But we'll keep an eye on MaNa here. The fact that this is so fast, though, is very suspicious. It is suspicious. If we do go into Blink, like this feels like an earlier timing. I'm still leaning towards charge, but we'll see. Meanwhile, double Oracle here across the map. So far, 3 drones going to be going down. This is some damage. This is okay. And yep, as we expected, charge is on the way. The reason why we expected this is because of how quickly this was before the third expansion. So really early charge here out of MaNa. MaNa is going to be hyper aggressive. Elazer checking his vision. He has not seen too much. The Stalker is here to avoid, to punish the scout, to deny the scout. Now, thankfully for Elazer, he's not cutting corners. This build that MaNa's going for is designed to punish a player that skips roaches. And as you can see here, Elazer, he skipped roaches. Like, there is no roach horn, but there is a safety Baneling nest. So Baneling's going to be paramount here in the defense. Banelings, if they can connect, they can shut down the eventual charge all in. Nice clean up on the reps. Hydrogen has been... Oh, no, he cancels! Elazer, he did scout, by the way. He checked the main base, but he doesn't know the timing. He might think it's just Blink. Again, Ling Hydra is ideal for Blink, is not ideal against Charge, though. This is where we need Banelings, and without Banelings to defend, I don't know if Elazer can hold. Big misread. A big misread here from Elazer. Canceling that Baneliness, going Ling Hydra. Charge lots there are amassing back at home. Gateway's about to finish up. You can see the Zealots there building up here at the third base. Temple Archives on the way. This is going to hit with Archons. And it's going to hit hard. Is going to hit hard. Now, it is still possible now if Elazer cuts workers. You can see here, Elazer, he's not even at 3 base saturation. He is cutting workers at 52. That is under 3. I mean, you can see here, 12 out of 16. Like, this is under 3 base saturation. We can see the Elazer, he's sending everything across the map here and now, and he might be able to break him, but oh God, that's just so much here to defend. Zealots and Archons. Yeah, Elazer, he sees. Elazer, he's now aware. He sees the army. Zealots, they do charge in. And Elazer has to get the hell out of here. He's going for Swarm again. He's going for Swarmhurst. He's crazy. Okay. We have Chargers on the way behind this. I mean, so far the Hydras have been kept alive, thankfully. We're still missing Zealots here, as Zealots are being pinned back. You can see Elazer trying to bait out some of the army here to try to pick off some Zealots. Now going for the expansion, and he will get it. Yeah, big pick up here. It does take down the base. Hydra's under fire, and now's the time to chase down the Elazer. Again, you can see how fragile this army is, and this is the big concern. Without Banelings, you can see the Lings, they just evaporate, and the Hydras as well. Expensive losses here. Hydras are falling. There's a Locust Wave. This will buy some time. This does buffer for the Hydras. This is buying time here, and how many Hydras just went down? 5. Only 5. That could have been everything. Honestly, if it wasn't for these Locust Waves, if it wasn't for the Swarm Host, every Hydra would have gone down. That would have been game. That would have been game then and there. Of course, MaNa did lose the expansion. MaNa is now aware, but now Locust Wave is on cooldown, and here comes the army. Now, with good enough control, Elazer, he can still hold on here. It's not going to be easy. As Elsa moving in. Again, Locust Wave is not ready. Hydras, they have to kite the hell out of here. They take down all the Zealots. We need more Zealots. We need more Charge Lots. There's no prison with the main army. And Elazer's holding. Does cost him 7 drones, but he does hold on. Now, what's scary here, Elazer's all in. Elazer, he didn't have many workers to begin with, and he's down to 45. He's not droning. He doesn't get a 4th base. He's all in. It's all or nothing for Elazer, and he can knock down this base once again, but Storm is ready. Not the best Storms. Nice pre-split. Storm grazes the army with nothing major. Locust Wave going for the expansion. Zealots, they're peeling off across the map. There goes down the 3rd. Now, they catch some reinforcements, but there should be plenty to defend. And MaNa, he's running out of steam. He's running out of steam. Elazer, so far, he's doing it. Takes down the Zealots. Contamination here on +2. Heavy delay on +2. And we'll see if Elazer can keep knocking down the 3rd. Now, as the game progresses, MaNa's army is getting better and better. Of course, like getting into Charge Archon, into Storm. This is a superior army. And as you've seen time and time again, like Elazer cannot fight head on. He cannot fight head on. If he does take some storms to the face, he will lose this army. So again, it's a very fragile composition. But it's also very mobile. So he can try to go for some hidden run tactics. Speaking of, he peels off his army, or he splits up his army. We have Hydras on the right, we have the main army on the left. You can see MaNa trying to keep up with the movement. So Elazer, he does head towards the 3rd. And so far, he's forcing MaNa to split. And MaNa fighting without his storms. A lot of Zealots going to be going down, but all the Hydras are exposed. Meanwhile, Storm's here towards the other side. 1 Knight Templar goes down. Oof, but only 1 Templar, and you can see Elazer, he's crumbling. Yeah, Elazer, he crumbles on the left. He crumbles here on the right as well. Remember, earlier, how many did he lose? He lost 5 Hydras. Now he's lost 27 Hydras. Oh, God. It's a lot of Hydras going down. That was 18. 18 Hydras just went down for 1 High Templar and Zealots. Contamination on Blink. There we go. Does contaminate. Behind this, now we get a fourth base. Very late fourth out of Elazer. Likewise, a late Baliness as well, but the Baliness will help, for sure. Baliness will help. I still favor MaNa in a head-on fight. MaNa's pushing in towards the left-hand side, going for the fourth. MaNa getting ready for his own. Locust Wave is still on cooldown. Storm's popping up. High Templar looking a little bit exposed. But so far the storms are on point. Oh god. Oh no, one of the High Templar gets caught out. No storm. Late reaction there by MaNa, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He kills the fourth, and now he's pushing into the third. Hydra's coming from behind. Where are the Zealots? Where are the reinforcements? Again, pushing out like this without a War Prism is so risky. This army has to get the hell out of here. He's gonna have to recall. Nice storm. Yep, there it is. There's a recall. He does abandon one of the Archons, both Archons even. But he does save the High Templar. And Elazer, he lost the fourth. He lost the fourth expansion. Elazer, we spoke about this for quite some time here. Elazer's been all in the entire time. He does not scale well into a longer game, but eventually he will. We have the Hive on the way. We have the Lurker done on the way. Baliness is done. Now we have Baling speed in production. Elazer's army is becoming more well refined. That is true. But what about the economy? It's not there. MaNa's getting a fourth, so is Elazer. Ideally, the Zerg player wants to be up an expansion. They want to be up a base, up an expansion. That's not the case, not here. Oh, the Locust Wave is cleaned up. MaNa does move in. Storms are popping up. There we go, Storms to the middle line, Storms on lane Bane. Bane's speed is not yet done. The High Templar, ooh, two of them go down. Nice melee connections. Once again, another High Templar falls. Again, the MVP Banelings, you can see how different the fights are with now Banelings in the mix. And Elazer, he takes the fight. He takes the fight. He killed like 4 High Templar. Elazer holds, and Elazer, the comeback has somewhat begun. Now, I say somewhat. The economy is still a big issue here. Elazer is still in 45 workers. Now he's building up into 8 lurkers. Now he can do one of two things. He can use these lurkers to turtle up and to fortify and to try to force a longer game, or he can just go for a timing attack and try to force his way in. You know, the prism has arrived. Elazer moves out. Oh. Moves out with the main army. Prism across the map. Locust Wave may kill the base. Okay. 4th base goes down. Very nicely done. That Locust Wave, the Stormhosts paying for themselves. Zelda get cleaned up in the main. Okay, that was a big loss for MaNa. Losing the expansion. Lurkers are revealed. Gets one. Nah, not even. Remember, no detection. Yeah, no detection here. The base is going to fall. They trade a 4th for a 4th. And MaNa, he's going to have to recall. I'm assuming we have one. Yep, recall is available. Ooh, gets the mineral line. And he's getting cornered here. Where's that recall? Oh, I mean, GG. GG gets called. At the same time, Zelda take the right-hand side. Zelda take the right-hand side. 9 drones go down in the end. Elazer, despite being cornered there, he did have too much going his way. And GG. Sorry, MaNa had too much going his way. GG well played. And MaNa takes a lead. MaNa, he does take a lead. Does take the game. Again, Elazer, he was hyper all in the entire game. He was stuck on 45 workers. He had no longevity here. He had one good fight in him. And again, he was cornering the army, but MaNa, he was just about to recall. Or at least he should have, right? Like, recall was available there, so he was going to be able to get out. GG. GG well played. With that, MaNa does take game number 1. And now we're getting ready for game number 2. Let's go. Let us go. So we're jumping into game 2. And game 2 is going to be on Incorporeal. go. As we are jumping into our next game, into game number 2, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Incorporeal, we have the blue Polish Protoss player, and we have the current reigning champion of Poland, the current best player in all of Polonia, leading the series 1-0. For Team Liquid, it is MaNa. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg player himself, we have the Polish Zerg representing Team Liquid as their teammates. It is Elazer. We go. Also, if you're in the chat, if you want to get some venue updates from the tournaments from the Fusion Esports League, I believe Kuro will be there. Kuro is going to be there. Kuro is going to be posting pictures in our Discord server. Has already posted one as Kuro is also on a train on the way over to the event. Over to Krakow. Over to FEL. So we're going to be getting a couple of photos here and there of the events. I might show some of them on stream. A little bit later when we actually have them. Let's go. As for now, we have our initial openers. Nothing too crazy. Once again, Elazer Force take the unnatural natural, forced to expand over at the 3rd base location. Meanwhile, MaNa back at home going for his own gate expand into Cybercore. Let's go. Here we go. So far, so good. When it comes to Elazer's play, last game is kind of what we expected out of him. I mentioned this previously, that Elazer, he has been more and more cheesy recently, just because he has been investing less time into StarCraft and devoting more time to Age of Empires instead. So Elazer, this kind of like hyper greedy, hyper macro player that you once knew, is no longer there. Instead, Elazer, he's been going for more and more and more all-ins. We saw a 3-base all-in last game out of Elazer, going Ling Hydra into Swarm Host play, but again, MaNa did shut him down. MaNa was able to tech up in a very, very nice direction to be able to shut that kind of play down. Here we could see a different kind of all-in. We could see a German taxi. We could see something more roach heavy. We could see more of the same. We could see Ling Hydra into Swarm Host again, or just straight up Ling Hydra. Elazer has options with how he wants to be aggressive, with how he wants to commit. But just like last game, we're expecting MaNa to be the defender, and we're expecting Elazer to be the aggressor. Is what we're expecting out of these two players. But really cool to see that Sunny is going to be at the event. Again, this is a full day event, so if you happen to be local, if you happen to be in Poland or in the surrounding regions, then you might be able to pull off the trek to head on over to Krakow or Cracov. Might be able to make it to the event. As we're expecting this to last 12 hours. We're expecting like a 10 to 12 hour stream. 2 hours. We're 2 hours in so far. Let's go, Pappy. Let's go. Robo opener. Okay, so Stargate into Robo out of MaNa. This is an opener that MaNa is very fond of. If you've been watching MaNa over the past 7 months, you would have seen this build before. This should be Robo. Yep, Robo into Twilight Council, into Templar Archives, into a Warp Prism, into an Archon drop. So this is a delayed Archon drop opener here, as opposed to something that's faster like a Dark Shrine opener, where you go Twilight Council into Dark Shrine, into Robo, into DTs, into DT drop, into Archon drop. This is going to be a straight up Archon drop instead with High Templar. At least that's what this should be. Once again, eventually leading into Storm, leading into Charge. Robo's done. Show us the Prism. Yep, there it is. Prism first. And now that the Twilight Council is complete, we should be going for the Templar Archives. There it is. Templar Archives, yep, into High Templar. Again, this is the MaNa build. MaNa is very fond of this build. Some of the other Polish and other European Protosses do indulge in this build every now and then, but MaNa is very fond of this. We didn't see it in Game 1. We're seeing it here in Game 2. So it's going for the Archon drop. Now, if MaNa sees weakness, if there's no Roach Warren, and if there's no Baneling Nest, and if MaNa confirms that, he can, instead of expanding and getting a 4th base, he can reactively warp in a wave of Zealots and commit with Charge, as Charge should be the follow-up after the Archon drop. Now this time, do you see what I see? Baneling Nest. Remember, last game, Elazer cancelled the nest, which is why he was vulnerable and why he was in danger. Here, he lets it finish, so he will have Banelings here to help deal with the Zealots. So Elazer, he's not cutting as many corners. Meanwhile, Charge is on the way. Elazer gets a full scout. Elazer, he sees the Archon drop. As MaNa's moving in. He's moving in with the drop. Up. Oh no! Ooh, does head towards the middle and drones are stacking. Here, drones are stacking. And where's the army? The Lings are not quite able to engage. That's going to be 5 drones going down already, and we're not done. The Queen is going to fall. Where are the high temp? Where are the Hydras? The Hydras are not here. The Lings are across the map instead. Probe's going to be going down, but at the same time, so is the mineral line back at home. Charge is not done, but the Archons, they trade well. Oh no! This MaNa does pull away. MaNa pulls away, drops into the main. He can save some of these Zealots as well. Nice save. Ooh, goes for another massive warp in. Yeah, the Queen is exposed. The slow lots are coming. I mentioned before that MaNa, he can reactively reinforce with these Zealots. Prism taking a lot of hits. Oh no! The Prism is going to go down. Big overextension, but he does get a mineral line, but that's still 2 Archons on the Prism falling. That's a lot of losses. And MaNa, I don't think he can save the 3rd. I don't think he can save it. Elazer, he lost the mineral line. He should respond with a massive counterattack, and he's going for it. Yeah, Lings and Hydras across the map. He even has one of the boys as well. The goal here should be to break this base, and MaNa should not have lost the Archons. If he had saved the Prism and saved the Archons, Elazer wouldn't be able to push because he'd be forced to stay at home because of the threat of the War Prism. But now that it's gone, there's nothing. There's just nothing here. And MaNa, he should not be able to hold. Like, he should not be able to save this expansion. Now, if these stasis traps connect well, then maybe, right? Like, the stasis traps, they have potential. First one gets baited. Yeah, first one is baited. Zelda coming from behind. And Banelings, they attempt to connect. Oh my god, Hydras, they're exposed. Wow, and the Zealots, they clean everything up. The Banelings did not connect. Really nice splitzer from MaNa. Oh my, that's crazy. MaNa, he shuts this down. Again, he had a very last second split against the Banelings, and where are the reinforcements? Elazer, he droned. Elazer, he was droning, he was not reinforcing. I don't know if you noticed, but as Elazer was pushing, he made like 9 drones. And that means there were no Ling reinforcements. That means there's nothing. The Banelings are being denied. The drones here are exposed. There's 2 Banelings on the way. They might finish, true. They might finish just in time. They do have some connections. But Zealots, they just annihilate those Hydras. Chargeless, they're pretty good. And without Banelings, they overwhelm. They overwhelm the Hydras. Wow, and just like that, MaNa's done it. GG gets called, and MaNa, he somehow doesn't get punished. He somehow survives despite losing everything across the map, and he overwhelms. He overwhelms his nobles out of control. GG, well played. MaNa will take the series 2-0. GG, well played. I was expecting Elazer to go for the all-in, winding it back. I want to give a reminder here, something that we didn't point out as it was happening. Elazer, as he pushed towards a 3rd, and I was talking about how he should break that 3rd base, he should be able to kill it, he was droning. He was not reinforcing with Lings, he was not reinforcing with Hydras, he was not making army units, he was re-droning his 3rd base where he just lost 16 workers. So he made the decision to re-drone, not to reinforce. So his army was weaker. So when he committed into the base, his army was smaller than what it should have been, and he just dies. GG, well played. He was overwhelmed, and with that, Elazer, he will tap out here. MaNa will take the series 2-0, and again, Elazer, a little bit of 2 minds there, right? So I feel like, especially after losing 16 drones, you have to punish, especially after killing the Prism. It was huge. It was a big moment for him. He killed the Prism, he killed 2 Archons, he killed all the Zealots, he cleaned everything up. That was his time to shine. But again, a little bit indecisive there from Elazer. You know, he had one foot in aggression, he had the other foot in greed or in economy, and alas, you know, you can't split your mind in such a way. Not in StarCraft. You got to be committed, you got to be devoted, you got to double down, especially when you're in that kind of position. GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations, MaNa. He will claim the series, and MaNa will advance on into the next round. I mean, again, MaNa, he was coming in as the favorite player, but it looked like, I mean, these games were close. These games were very close, very intense. I could definitely see this going to the ace match, and we could even see a rematch. We could even see a rematch later on in the tournament as well. As Elazer, he's still in the tournament. Don't worry, he's still in the tournament. He's still in the brackets, but with that, congratulations to MaNa. And with that, that leads us into our next series, into Spirit versus Geralt. Oh boy. Now, originally, these two matches were going to be happening at the same time. Originally, it was going to be Spirit versus Geralt, and it was going to be MaNa versus Elazer, and they were both going to be happening at the same time. But because of some scheduling delays, because of some flight delays, because Lambo, Clem, and Rainer are still getting to the venue, we have decided to cast both, to go one and then the other. So we have an extra series here, and this is just to pad some time, just to buy some time to allow the international players to get to the venue in time, to be able to set up and to be able to compete. So we do have a Spirit versus Geralt coming up next. Sorry, I was just checking the stream. But so we're going to be going on a break. We're going to be going on a short break, and when we come back, we will have Spirit and Geralt coming up next. See you then. It's going to be after that series where we have the upper bracket quarterfinals. I believe they're going to be happening one after the other. Currently, I believe that is the plan. To cast them one after the other. So we'll see how all that unfolds, of course. Now though, we're going to be going on a break, and we'll see you guys soon after the break. See you soon in a couple of minutes with our next series with Spirit and Geralt. See you then. Oh, see you then, Pappy. See you then.